All right. Well, the summer heat's finally broke a little bit, and so I think I'm gonna play around with this sweet little toy. Starts up fine. Seems to run great. Exhaust is rotted out, you know, interior's rotted out. So I think today I'm gonna start off with a little cleanup on the inside. Try and just scrub it down so the steering wheel's not sticky when I'm grabbing it and messing with it. And start going through some electrical items because it's not charging. And I think the headlights work, kinda. The whoopee lights, I got those to work. But it's just not you know, set forever. Runs off the battery in the gas can, but the alternator is not charging, and I don't know if it's the alternator or heck, it could just be the something in the wiring, you know, bad ground somewhere. Heck, it might even not be plugged in all the way, or it could be some fuses. But I think that's the first order of business, is to chase that down. And then I'll go ahead and clean out one of the gas tanks and get a that way I can run it off an actual tank instead of the gas can. It's got two tanks, one on each side. Driver's side tank, looks like it's got a little leak in it. You know, it's might have been patched before, but it's a little rusty on the bottom, and it's wet right there. And the problem is it don't smell like fuel. It smells like water. So the other one is in better shape just looking at it from laying under it. So we'll start with that one. We'll get it all cleaned up and run some fuel through it, and we'll go from there and get it starting and driving under its own power, and keeping its own battery charged, and not having to run off a little 1 gallon can under the hood. You know, and that'll just be a psychological victory, and then we can start on the rest of it. I can drive it across the yard without having to open the hood, hook up the battery, you know, and then every once in a while stop and charge the battery. So do that, and basically I'm gonna do that. Goal for today is to do that and just do some cleanup, and that's it. Exhaust is you know, one of the first things to do is fix the exhaust. It's got some big old rust holes in that little glass pack there. So you know, that's easy, and it's just sure exhaust and glass packs. But you know, the truck is cool as heck. Probably needs one of everything, but I just want to be able to drive it. All right. So I got a new camera. I'm working from a little GoPro that I'm still learning how to use, and so I hope this comes out okay. And maybe I can get some better shots and some better action videos for sure. But we'll see what happens. But it's pretty cool. The tow rig is a Renegade by Chevron. You know, it's a pretty good winch, a PTO winch. The lever is manual, crank it up and down for the I don't even remember what you call the thing for this guy. Sling, and then the wheel lift is pretty cool. Looks like it's a Century Formula One, but it works fine. It goes up and down. Winch works. I don't have the little L-shaped bars. I don't even know what you call them. They go on there so I can actually lift something. You know, actually lift a car and pull it with that. So I'll have to get a couple of those or make a couple of those. But it's not like I'm gonna be towing a lot of cars with it. Probably just tow my own junk around the yard. You know, you never know. So be doing that. It's got the dollies. Of course, the tires are rotted. They've been sitting out in the sun for years. Missing one of the cross pipes, but we'll get to that later. Get that cleaned up and get that going. This thing looks pretty old and raggedy, but I'm sure it's fine for what I'm doing, but we'll find out later. So, but it's got a license plate on it now, and it's got insurance. I just registered it as an antique truck, and so, you know, can't legally drive it as a tow truck without all the jumping through all the hoops and laws and documents and, you know, all the government regulation on tow truck, on what a tow truck is and how you can use it, and what you're doing when it's considered a tow truck versus what you're doing when it's just an antique truck going to a car show. You know, technically, one of the lines in that law says if you're towing your race car, it is not a tow truck. So maybe we just tow race cars. Or what's a race car? Car that races? I put some numbers on the side of all my stuff. And we're gonna need another back tire there. So I changed the front tires. Just ordered some off the internet, stuck them on there. Because the front ones wouldn't even hold air. They'd hold it for a little bit, but they were real bad. The back ones are real bad also. You know, just dry rotted from sitting. And it's got a big crack where it was. I was sitting on the bottom. That's where it sat for years, and where it was kind of folded. But all right, that's a pretty good introduction on this video. So I'll pick up the camera again, and I'm gonna make a little bit of progress, and we'll just keep doing this and see how it goes. But, man, this thing is cool. All right, yanked the seat out. Only broke one of the bolts, so that's a good thing. Look at all this historic goodness under the seat. Cool stuff. Little old raincoats, armrests with dirt daubers, some sort of gas cap. Oop, there it is. There's the crank. That guy goes in there for cranking that guy up and down. Side of the road emergency paper. Part of a antenna cable. Oh man. Another raincoat. Alright, uncovered a smell. It's not terrible. It's what's in here? Reflectors probably wasn't there at one time, but a little bit of tools. Okay, that's good. What's this guy? It's aluminum, it's very light, and it's broken. Or it's one of those things for freaking finishing over the straps. Oh, check that out. Pioneers. Well, we got some TRX X3s, 6x9ers, all container units. That's kind of cool. Fire extinguisher. I'm gonna guess that's out of date. Needs recharging. Probably be fine. Big old screw chaser. Performance. Cheapo. No. Oh. What size we got here? It is a 1/2 inch. Probably not going to find that lost 10mm in here, but I don't know. Toe strap. I ain't doing a whole lot with that guy anymore. Looks like it's in rough shape. But all right, I'll finish cleaning this out and we'll start again. All right, not bad. I ripped all the carpet up. Pleasantly surprised the condition of the floorboard. Passenger side is good. Like, got a little surface right there around the edge. Get that cleaned up, see what it looks like. Driver's side's got a little more right under the gas pedal along the edge of the door, but then some surface here and there, but it's not terrible. Way better than I expected. So carpet was rutted. I haven't pulled any trim. I just ripped the carpet from around the trim, just a quick yank it out, see what it looks like. I'll go back and take the trim off next. Actually, I think I'll just get the pressure washer in here it's really dusty. It's not wet, it's dusty from everything. It's been hot and dry, so nothing was really wet. Here's a pro tip: if you're gonna store a car in the backyard for a long time, yank the carpet out right away, because it's eventually going to get wet and it's going to rust underneath where that carpet's been sitting. It's going to hold moisture. Get it down to the metal and let it sit like that. You know, if you think there's a chance of ever going back to it and needing that floor not to be rusty, don't leave anything that's going to hold the dirt, hold the moisture, and just let it rust underneath. So yeah. So if you got an old hot rod or an old pickup truck or something that's going to sit, 5-10 years, and maybe one day, that one day I'll fix her, kind of thing, do yourself a favor, get all that shit off the floor, clean it up before you let it sit. That way, when you eventually do get back to it, or if you decide, hey, I need to sell this thing, get it out of the yard, I need the money, I'm never going to do anything with it. Floor pans are, they're usually deal breakers for some folks when they're looking for a car to restore, because they are a pain in the butt. So if you got solid floors, that's one of the first thing everybody looks for. So all right, so I started this video saying the summer heat had finally broke and I was going to work on this thing, but then Bob got angry. Y'all know Bob, he's that big orange ball in the sky. So it's still 20 degrees cooler than it was this summer, but it's still about 90 degrees, so it's I think the high today was 88, and it's just freaking hot out in the sun. So I put it inside, and I got one gas tank out of the two going, so it's running off its own fuel tank now. Clean it up, put an extra fuel filter in it just in case, flush some fuel through it, and then had to add a couple of pieces of hoses. So it's got a driver's side and a passenger side fuel tank. Driver's side looks like it's got a little leak in it, so I focused on getting this guy over here on the passenger side. It was pretty clean, once get a little bit of ugly fuel come out, splosh it around, and then it come out looking good, nice and clean. So I'll just throw an extra inline filter right before the fuel pump and called it good. Alternator, I think, is shot. Just doesn't seem to be putting anything out, so try that. I had a alternator off an old hot rod, but it's got a different plug. It is just a GM alternator, but plug is different, and so I'll try again. But anyway, cleaned out the inside. Got the seat sitting out in the yard, but floor pans don't look terrible. A little bit of rust over here, spot by the door in here where the moisture and the dirt and everything just kind of set underneath that seal. So that's a bad spot. It's got a little spot here, and I think there's one just like it on the other side, but not near as bad as the driver's side. But other than that, floor pans are pretty decent. But the big goal in cleaning it out was so I don't get dirty every time I get in and out of it trying to work on it. But so there we go. Let's fire this baby up. Clutch got to be in to start, so we go. Didn't even have to touch the gas pedal. Just shove the clutch in there and turn the key. This thing is awesome. I think that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to back it back outside, chunk the seat back in it, we'll park it back on the line, and call it a day. And it's still pretty warm, and I need to relax a little bit, get something to eat. Thanks for watching Billy Monster Garage. All right, Melly, get in. All right, so I'm gonna try out the mount, the little stick-on mount for the GoPro. Never used it before. See how it works. We're gonna take a little ride around the block and see what happens. Window would roll down, huh? That ain't good. back to the house for me, and I thought the coil had went out, and because it just seemed like it wasn't firing. It seemed like there was something squirting in the carburetor. It just would not go. So I had him come get me. We went and got all the stuff to tow it home, and then I grabbed a can of starting fluid, give it a couple of squirts, and it fired right up. So still could be a firing issue, and it was just wouldn't fire once it got hot. This is the furthest I've driven it so far. So kind of see what's going on with it. Get home, but it's running with that fuel tank. So that's a good thing. Maybe, sorta. Dang. Well, we're just gonna hook up the tow strap and tow it the rest of the way home. It's only a quarter of a mile. All right, she's back in the yard, and I'm just gonna let it sit until, I don't know, probably next weekend. Mess with it again, maybe after work tomorrow. Don't know if it's something in the tank or because it fired up on some ether and thing got going, but it had cooled down a little bit too, and it ran to within a quarter mile of the house and done it again. So we'll check all that out, see if it's that coil or that electronic ignition, whatever the hell that, you know, it's got the Chevy electronic ignition distributor on it. So clean all that up. It's got all kind of bad connections on the electrical, so could be anything, and it could just be trash in that fuel tank. That fuel tank wasn't connected, only the other one was, so it may be disconnected because there's something wrong with it. So I think I'll just go ahead and yank the tank off and make sure everything's good, run you fuel line all the way up to the front, you know, just go through all the steps that I should be going through and go from there. But it's still a boatload of fun. See you next time.